Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speak and Learn English. I'm Tom.
And I'm Emma. We are so happy you are here with us today.
Today, we have a very important topic. It's something every English learner needs.
That's right, Tom. Today, we are talking about what to do when you don't understand. It happens to everyone.
Exactly. Even I don't understand everything sometimes. But before we start this great conversation, please, if you like our videos, click the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot.
Yes, join our friendly community. Now, Tom, let's start. Many students only know one word when they don't understand. Pardon?
Pardon is okay, but if you say it 20 times, it sounds like a robot. Today, we will teach you natural, friendly ways to ask for help in English. Phase 1. The basic phrases. Keeping it simple.
Okay, Tom. Imagine we are at a coffee shop. You say something very fast. I don't understand. What is the easiest thing I can say?
The easiest and most natural way is sorry? Just one word with a question sound at the end. Sorry?
Oh, I like that. It's short. Let's practice. Tom, say something fast.
I would like to buy a large iced latte, please.
Slow down. Sorry?
Perfect. That was natural. Let's say it again for our listeners. Slowly. Sorry?
Sorry? It's so much better than just staring with a confused face.
Yes, don't just stare. Another great one is, excuse me?
Excuse me? That sounds a bit more formal, right?
A little bit. It's very polite. If you are talking to a boss or a stranger, excuse me is perfect. Let's try again. Tom speaks fast. The meeting is at 4 p.m. in the conference room.
Excuse me?
The meeting is at 4 p.m. See? It works. Phase 2. Asking to repeat. The can you say phrases.
But Tom, sometimes I understand the words, but the person is speaking like a race car.
Like a race car. I like that. When people speak too fast, you need to ask them to slow down. You can say, could you say that again, please?
That's a long sentence, Tom. Let's break it down. Could you say that again, please?
Exactly. Let's repeat it together for our friends at home. Could you say that again, please?
Could you say that again, please? It's very polite because of the word could and please.
Yes. Or if you want to be more specific about the speed, you can say, could you speak a little slower, please?
Oh, that is my favorite. Could you speak a little slower, please? Sometimes native speakers forget that not everyone is a flash.
True. I sometimes speak too fast when I'm excited about English grammar.
Tom, nobody gets excited about grammar except you. But okay, let's practice. I will be the fast speaker now. I think we should go to the park and then eat pizza because I am so hungry.
Whoa, Emma, could you speak a little slower, please?
I think we should go to the park and eat pizza.
Much better. I love pizza. Phase 3. When you only missed one part.
Tom, what if I understood almost everything, but I missed just one word, for example, the time or a name?
Great question. You can use the what or who at the end. For example, the party is at Mumbles. You can say, the party is at when?
Oh, so I repeat the part I know and add the question word at the end.
Exactly. If I say, my friend Mumbles is coming over, you say, your friend who?
That is so helpful. It shows the other person that you were listening, you just missed a tiny bit. It's very engaging.
Let's try. Emma, I'm going to travel to Mumbles.
You are going to travel to where?
To London.
Take me with you!
Phase 4. Checking for understanding. The do you mean technique. Now, Emma, sometimes we think we understand, but we're not 100% sure.
Like when my mom tells me to do the dishes?
Exactly. In that case, use this phrase. Do you mean? Emma, do you mean? Give me an example. If I say, we need to finish this project by the end of the day, You can check by saying, "Do you mean it needs to be ready by 5 p.m.?"
Ah, I am confirming the information. Do you mean? It's like a bridge between not knowing and knowing.
Let's practice. Listeners, try to think of the answer too. Emma, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today.
Under the weather. Do you mean you feel sick?
Yes, exactly. You didn't know the idiom under the weather, but you guessed and you used "do you mean" to check.
That makes me feel so much more confident. I'm not just saying I don't know, I'm trying.
That makes me so happy. Phase 5. Honesty is the best policy. Sometimes, Emma, we just have to be honest. If the English is too difficult, it's okay to say, "I'm sorry, my English isn't very strong yet. Could you use simpler words?"
That is so brave, and people are usually very nice when you say that.
Most people want to help. They will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me explain differently."
Let's repeat that one. It's a bit long, but very useful. I'm sorry, my English isn't very strong yet.
Notice how Emma said "yet." That is so important. You are learning. You will be strong soon.
Yes, I am a work in progress, as they say.
Phase 6. Review and key phrases. We have talked a lot today. Let's review the best phrases to replace pardon. Emma, what was the first one?
The easiest one, sorry, with a question tone.
Good. And the polite one for strangers?
Excuse me.
And if they're speaking like a race car?
Could you speak a little slower, please?
And if you want them to say it one more time?
Could you say that again, please?
And my favorite to check the meaning.
Do you mean?
Excellent. You're a pro, Emma.
I have a good teacher.
To everyone listening at home, don't be afraid to ask questions. It is the fastest way to learn English.
Yes, don't feel embarrassed. Even native speakers ask sorry all the time.
We want to hear from you now. Tell us in the comments, what is the hardest thing for you to understand in English? Is it the speed, the accent, or the vocabulary?
Let us know. We read all your comments and we love chatting with you.
Thank you for practicing with us today. You are doing a great job.
See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.